Good morning, good morning. Welcome to your early morning intuitive guidance for this fine Wednesday. Actually, it's rather rainy out there. At least it was warm, so we enjoyed our stroll through the rain. And TJ's coat is really soft now. My hair looks like it went through the rain. But today we have a card from the Allowing Prayers deck by Siobhan Nash. 57 invitations to spark a conversation with your soul. I love that. I love that. I hope at some point she writes a book, because maybe she already has. I'll have to look. Because I love how she uses language. So welcome to the two of you who have popped on at this point. Oh, we're up to 4. Good morning, good morning. Glad you're all here. Good morning, Carolyn. Welcome, welcome. Again, Allowing Prayers deck. That's the deck we're with. Good morning, Cindy. Waving back at you. Good to have you all here. So, Gwen's here. Fabulous. Fabulous, fabulous. So our card today is actually called Allowing Thanks. Allowing Thanks. So let's just do a little bit of settling in. And what I'd like us to do is whole brain posture and then a couple of breaths. So cross one ankle over the other. Arms out in front like a zombie. Good morning, Deb. You're just in time. Cross at the wrists. Turn down and interlace your fingers. You can either bring them up to your chest or you can rest them in your lap, whatever's more comfortable. I'm going to put mine in my lap for today. All right, I want you to just close your eyes. A couple of nice deep breaths. Just settling and grounding. Anchoring yourself. Keep the breath going. And one of the reasons I'm doing this morning is I've already had contact with 2 people who were feeling out of sorts, which makes total sense given all the upheaval in the astrology world, etc. But all of that upheaval is in service of the changes we're bringing to the front. So just allowing that upheaval, being, if you view it as like the waters are really choppy, being in your boat and just allowing yourself to get tossed about a little bit, not fighting it, being with it, flowing with it, allowing that water to take you where you're meant to go. So just breathing and feeling yourself more and more grounded. Roots coming out through the soles of your feet, down into Mother Earth, grounding you and anchoring you like those big tap roots that come down from trees. And maybe as long as we're sending down roots, let's send out those little feeder roots that go out to the side, that are the ones that are responsible for nourishing us. So we're not only grounded and solid, we're being nourished. How lovely is that? And then on the next breath, I want you to imagine expanding your branches up into the cosmos. Reaching for the heavens, feeling the sun, the warmth of the sun. And that too provides nourishment. So now we're being fed on multiple levels and we're grounded and anchored. You can just uncross everything, fingertips together, feet flat. That just sort of locks in that change that we've made. Oh, and Deb gave me some sunshine. Thank you, thank you. All right, now to our card. Allow thanks. Allow thanks. And there's 2 different things. So the first thing we're starting with is call to mind a time when you allowed yourself to be who you are despite social and cultural expectations. Allow yourself, call to mind a time when you allowed yourself to be who you are despite social and cultural expectations. Just being you, no matter what. For me, one of the times that I tend to do that the most is when I'm tired. I don't have the energy to put up the facade, to meet someone else's expectations for how I ought to be. I just am. How about for you? A time when you allowed yourself to be you, despite what everybody else expected of you. All right? Then, how can you show yourself some gratitude for showing up as your true self at that point in time, regardless of how others responded? Cindy says the thing I'm working on right now. Absolutely. There are no accidents. This is all in divine right order and divine right timing. There's a reason the universe gave us this card today, okay? And yes, there's going to be a whole lot of people who poo-poo that idea. That doesn't happen, blah, blah, blah. You're so airy-fairy. You can buy into how they look at it, or you can maintain your own perspective on it. Some of the things that I say about how I think the universe works may not resonate for you. Let them go. Let them go. There's a term that some of the priests used for people of the Catholic faith who kind of, well, that works for me and that doesn't. They called them cafeteria Catholics. You're picking and choosing what works for you and what doesn't work for you. So for me, I think that's perfectly fine. I know they were not happy about it, but I think that's perfectly fine. I don't have to buy hook, line, and sinker anybody else's opinion about how the world ought to run. I get to decide for me what works for me. And again, there sometimes can be backlash. So be it. I am willing to deal with the backlash in order to have the right to be who I am right here, right now. And again, that doesn't mean that you blow off everybody else, that you're so busy being you that other people get short shrift. The more you can step into truly being you, the more you're really showing up for other people. When you're putting on the facade, it's not the real you that people are getting, right? It's that plastic you, the Barbie self, whatever it is, right? So keep thinking about those opportunities that you have had to be your true self, and did you take them? And if you didn't, don't beat yourself up about it. Just recognize that. Prepare yourself for the opportunities that come to us every single day to be our true self. So it may be someone asking you for something and you get there. I had this happen the other day where someone was looking for a certain answer and he kept asking all these people. He kept asking until he found the person who agreed with him. And I'm like, oh, I wonder when I do that. I wonder how I do that. Good morning, Helen. Glad you are here. Glad you are here. So allowing thanks for the times that you showed up truly as you. When you didn't put on the face, you were just you, okay? And looking for those opportunities moving forward. The goal being, if we spent 100% of our time being us. Yes, Gwen says sometimes it's hard to be brave enough to do that. Yes, yes, yes. Here's what I want to suggest with that, though. The majority of the time when we perceive that someone else is going to have a negative response to us being brave enough to be the real us, the majority of the time it doesn't happen. And the few times that it does happen, we can just allow them to be wherever they're at with us being our true selves. They may be disgruntled. They may try to pop us back into the old behavior. They may make some negative comments about that. So be it. So be it. That doesn't have to rock our world. We can maintain our solidarity, our solidified self, our groundedness with who we are, despite the fact that some people may not like it because they're not used to us being that way. And it's normal, it's natural for them to try to pop us back into the way they perceive us to have been in the past. The more you stick with, nope, this is the real me, the more they begin to come around. Okay? It takes time, though. This is a process. What's going on right now cosmically is upheaval. A lot of upheaval. Old systems breaking down because they don't work anymore, but new systems haven't come online yet. And we need to be in a place of not just tolerating, not just accepting, but embracing, fully embracing this space where the rubble of the old is laying around, hasn't been cleaned up yet, and the new has not yet been put in place. It's merely part of the process. Merely part of the process. If you think about, so the house that we're flipping right now, tore up the carpet, tore up the pad, the nailing strips are still around the edge of the room, etc., etc. It's in progress. It's not done yet. When it's done, it will be beautiful. Right now, it's kind of a hot mess. but it's no longer what it was, dog pee and cat pee stained carpeted room. It's not yet what it's going to be, a beautiful hardwood floored room. It's in the green muck stage. So if you have not read, let me think, it'll come to me, the name of the book. It's something about waiting. It's a great book. It's an awesome book. It'll come to me. Sue Monk Kidd. It's Sue Monk Kidd, and it's one of her memoirs. But the point of the book is that we do this often. We go through these periods of change. Things don't stay the same for human beings or for much else in that regard. So we go through this process of change. And she talks about using the caterpillar as her touch point in terms of her own process. So you go from being this little caterpillar who crawls along to being in the cocoon or chrysalis, and in there, what's happening? You are dissolving. You are dissolving into what she calls the green muck stage. You are no longer the caterpillar. You are not yet the butterfly. You're green muck, okay? We're going through the green muck stage right now. We are going through When the Heart Waits. Thank you, Cindy. Much appreciated. Yes, yes. It is an awesome book. If you have not read it, please read it. It so spoke to my heart and soul. I must have read that when I was in my 40s, I think. And it's so spot on for this process that we go through, waiting for life to unfold. When the Heart Waits. Yes. Awesome, awesome. Thank you, Cindy. So we are in that process again right now. Upheaval, green muck, blah, blah. So if you can tell yourself, okay, I'm just green muck right now. It's okay that I don't know what I'm doing, or that I'm feeling out of sorts, or that nothing quite seems to be engaging me at this point. I'm just in the green muck stage. I have the patience and the wisdom to ride this out, to allow myself to turn into the butterfly. It's transformation. Transformation can be mucky. It's not always this, kind of a process, right? So, and again, I go to the second line here. How can you show yourself some gratitude for showing up as your true self? How can you appreciate you for having those times when you have shown up for yourself? I was talking to someone yesterday about doing a little thing. And I said to her, when you're done doing this little thing, be your own best cheerleader. Yay, me, I did it. Good for me. Throw a big hoopla. Exactly. People are not used to the real us. They're used to the facade that we present. The nice girl, whatever it is. Good morning, Deb. Welcome, welcome. Whatever facade we've presented. Okay, I'm the dutiful wife. I'm the faithful churchgoer. I'm the committee sitter. I'm the, minutes taker. Whatever all those things are that we do, all those hats we put on. Let's start practicing. No, I'd rather not do that anymore. I've done my stint. Let's hand this off to someone else. And when you do that and nobody picks it up, do not pick it up again. Allow it to lay there. Allow it to lay there. However long it's going to lay there, let it lay there. Just keep smiling and waving. You're done. You did your stint. Time for someone else to step forward. All right? And sometimes we have to create that vacuum that gets very uncomfortable for a whole lot of people, including us, before someone else steps in. I had that happen I was the secretary for a particular group, and I took these minutes that were amazing minutes. And when I was done, I said, I'm stepping down. I'll do it for another however long. Who's going to step up? No one stepped up. I stopped. I stopped taking the minutes. They knew I was stopping taking the minutes. It put them in violation. The minutes needed to be taken. Eventually, someone reluctantly stepped up and complained about taking the minutes, but did it. And I was done. So we need to be willing to go through the discomfort. Remember what I've said before about discomfort. Discomfort is where change happens. We've vastly overrated comfort. When we're in the comfort zone, we aren't growing. We aren't doing anything. when we move ourselves to the edge, kindly, lovingly, I'm just going to step out on this edge of discomfort. I'm going to test drive this for a little bit. Okay, this is pretty uncomfortable. But what happens is, then that edge moves out a little further, and this place where you've moved to becomes more comfortable. And the edge moves out further, and pretty soon you move again to that edge of discomfort, and more change occurs. Practicing being willing to feel that discomfort and move through it. Again, I go back to Winston Churchill. If you find yourself walking through hell, keep walking. Keep walking. That's all we need to do. One foot in front of the other. We can acknowledge our discomfort. Man, this is really not comfortable. Nope, it isn't. Let's keep walking. Let's link arms and let's keep walking. All right? So that is our card for today. Allow thanks. Thinking about a time when you, in violation of other people's expectations, were the real you, applauding yourself for that. I don't care how far back you have to go to find an example of that. Applaud yourself for that. Show some gratitude to yourself for that. Yay me, I did it. I like doing that out loud. I'll do something and I'll go, yay me. And oftentimes who's ever around will laugh because they think that's funny. I don't care. I don't care. Yay me. So have an awesome day. Have a yay me kind of day. Have a day where you feel that gratitude for yourself for showing up as the real you. See you again tomorrow. Bye.